So I started interacting with them, and then I joined an attraction marketing system, and that's when everything changed. I mean, I became so now, because I knew how to generate leads, because I was building a network marketing business, because I was, starting to build a brand. I was creating content. I was putting training videos out on YouTube, on my blog, sharing value everywhere I could. That was my main goal, just keep doing that. I ended up getting into this company and becoming the #1 female recruiter, #1 female earner. And when they started doing conferences, I was speaking on stage in front of, hundreds of people at first, then several hundreds of 900 people, right?
Wow.
Then maybe 1,000 people. Then of course that builds a platform for you, right? So now I'm well known in the niche of network marketing, but from an internet marketing span, right? Yeah. Now, people in traditional network marketing didn't really know me all that well, but everybody who was sick of doing it the traditional way that came on the internet knew who I was, right? So then I was with that company from 2008, the end of 2008 through 2011, okay? #1 female all that time. And that's when I started hanging out with people like Cedric Harris. That's when because he was in
Shout out to Cedric Harris.
That's right. My big brother. That's when I started hanging out with, let's see, David Wood even at that time, right? David Wood and some other people, David Sharp and people like that, because we were all part of the same thing together, like Larry Beecham, Nicole Cooper, who was a good friend of mine.
Wow.
Like, we were all in this thing together, right? So, in fact, Nicole, myself, Cedric, and Larry, we did this conference called, what was it called? Social Marketing Mania, I think that's what we called it. We did an event called Social
What year
Marketing.
was this?
Huh?
What year was this?
2010.
Dang.
2009, 2010. So yeah, so me, Cedric, Larry, Nicole, we were the four of us were partners, and we did this Social Marketing Mania event, right? I think, was it in Atlanta? I think it was Atlanta. And I mean, we did amazingly well with this event. Our goal was kind of take it to different places, but we each started growing and started doing our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of never really reeled that in together. But, those are the experiences that we had. And so now we move into 2011. And one of the guys who had become the top male earner inside of that previous attraction marketing program I was in started a company. Right, he started Empower Network. So the attraction marketing was MLSP, right? I was an MLSP, and so that's really where all the
iconic company. Iconic company.
Right. So Brian Finale, Norbert, those are my guys.
A lot of people came out of there. A lot of legends came from there.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that was like my breeding ground, right? That was where I was, my nurturing ground, I should say. So I won't say breeding, but where I was being nurtured, right? And cultivated as a marketer, as a leader, as a network marketer even. So then the guy who became #1, who was David Wood, he started Empower Network 2011. And he had done so amazing at MLSP that he had built this huge following and things of this sort. And so I decided to join Empower Network with him. And then things went even to the next level, right? So he partnered with David Sharp. We started that, so now we even had Lawrence Tam. We had so many other people started to come together because of this Empower Network thing, that my first 90 days in the Empower Network, I made maybe $200,000.
Wow.
Right? And this was cash money. This was commissions. This wasn't 200 in sales. This was 200, gross commissions to me, right? And so then we started doing events, and the team started growing. And from 2000, let's see, probably the peak of that may have been maybe around 2013 of the beginning of 14 or so. Because my first 2 years, I made $1 million in commissions with that company. I was a top female earner over there. We ended up with 15 millionaires in about 2.5 years. I was the 6th one to become a millionaire over there. And I mean, things were great, right? So then I was like, oh, well, this is awesome. I'm making 70, 80 grand a month. I'm good. We still doing what we're doing. We're building our business. My team, was, I don't know, maybe about 10, 15,000 people in my organization, something like this.
Right.
And we're rocking, right? So then I decided, well, I think I'm ready to have a baby. So I ended up getting pregnant and, you know, had a baby and, you know, chilled for 6 months or so, and then get back into the swing of things. And still living off residuals, which was good, right? Life was still fine at this time. Yeah. And then now we get to, so I had my son in 2014, and there's nothing really in between there. I mean, in between there, it was just, we were just building, right? It was nothing transitional in there between 11 and about 15, 16. Right. So I had my son in 14, and then around 15, 16, you know, we would travel. I would travel with my son, and, you know, we'd do different leadership events. We were going to Costa Rica. We were going to Puerto Rico. We were going to Miami, doing amazing things, right? My son was a baby, right? He had a passport at 5 months old. Okay?
Born into it, yeah.
Yeah, he just is all he knows. Yeah. Even to this day, that's all he knows is this industry, right? Yeah. Or just seeing his mother do it. So I will say around 15, that's when his dad and I, we actually split up, right? So because we were engaged and married, but that didn't work. And for various reasons, nothing to do with my son or things like that. But I felt like I needed to make a shift. So I became a single mom, but I didn't want to. You know, that was kind of transitional. I didn't want to, especially with like a 1-year-old, and I'm trying to run this $1 million business, and I don't really have any help in the house now. I got to find a nanny or hire a nanny. You know, all of that internal home stuff started to reveal itself to me. I never experienced that before, right? So I only had to worry about business, right? Right. Now I've got to worry about business and my child. Right. And so just a lot of that learning started to take place inside of there. And I started to have some challenges with guilt, right? I mean, you're a dad, but as a mother, like, I'm trying to work, but I'm working from home, but I have a child who needs me. I'm nursing, you right? I want to play with him. My whole point was to be home with him. Yeah. But now that I got to have a nanny and this and that, I'm still home, but I can't pay attention to him because I got to do what I'm doing, right? And that began to weigh on me heavily around that 15, 16 period of time. So much so that we did a leadership retreat, and we had Tony Robbins' team of people that do like the firewalks and all that stuff and breaking of the boards. They were hired by our company at that time to come down to our leadership retreat and set up a firewalk for us to walk on fire, as well as break the boards with our hands.
I just learned about the firewalk thing from Rob Ford. He was telling me about the walking on the glass and the fire.
Rob Ford was a part of it with us, okay? And Rob Ford was one of the people that helped to facilitate some of that walking on the glass with us.
Wow. Okay? Shout out to Rob Ford. Rob Ford was on the show recently.
I love Rob Ford, right? That's my old buddy too. Okay?
Yeah, shout out to Rob Ford. Legend.
So, yeah, absolutely. So we're going through this stuff, and so here's my board. I still have my board, right? I still have my board that I broke with my hand.
Wow.
And have it sit right here on my desk. Wow. And the significance of this board is that, you know, it's like, what do you want to break through? Like, what's causing you a challenge, right? And it wasn't anything in business. I felt like I was having a personal issue.
What does it say on the board? What does it say on the board?
I'm gonna tell you what it says on the board.
Okay.
I was having a hard time with I didn't know how to be me the way I had been and be a mom. Like, I don't know how to, the balance, that thing people talk about, that work-life balance, like, I was all out of whack. Okay? And so the point was, you have to break through. You know, what's your challenge you want to break through? Write that down on one side, and then on the other side of the board, you have to write what you're breaking into, right?
Oh, so man, that's powerful.
The side that I was going to hit, right, with my hand and break through says, I'm breaking through essentially blaming myself for thinking that the time I take to work is neglecting my son from time he needs from me, right? Yeah. I'm blaming myself. Like, I felt guilty. I felt bad. So I can't do this. It's mothers everywhere doing this. Yeah. Why are you falling down this spiral? You know, I don't know what this is. And then what I was breaking into was knowing that I am being a good mom by taking the time I need to provide the life we deserve, right?
Right.
So I went on ahead, and I have it on video and everything, right?
Yeah.
In fact, Lawrence Tam videoed it for me. Yeah. So I did my thing. Boom, broke my board. Right?
Can I see the board again?
Sure.
Because that's kind of a thick board. Hold on a second. You broke that board with what?
This is a thick piece of wood.
I mean, how did you break the board with what?
Like my hand.
A hammer? Your hand?
So this is like an inch.
Lord.
This is like an inch thick.
Remind me not to mess with you.
Right, an inch thick is this board.
Had you ever broke a board before that?
Huh?
Had you ever broke a board before that?
Not before this. After this. This was my first time. I broke another board with Peaks, which was T. Harv Eker's group that he sold, right? And I broke this board, right? So I broke two, but this board was after. So this board, what was I breaking through? This one says I am breaking through playing small.
Wow.
Right? I'm done playing small. And then this one says I'm breaking into, stepping into my fullest power.
Wow.
Right? So I broke this board second, but this board was my first experience. This board was my first experience, right? So I did that. And then I walked on fire, right? And started to really start getting to the mode of, okay, Trace, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Now, as I was working on myself, money is still okay. I'm working on me. And then before you know it, the company starts having challenges. So now we're like 2016, my income is starting to go down. Not a lot, but you know, you 80,000, now you 70, right? Okay. 70, now you 60. Right?
Right.
Yeah. 60, now you 50. You know, it was just starting to trickle down.
Right.
It got all the way down to I was about $5,000 a month.
Wow.
Okay. And next thing I knew, they closed the doors. Okay, without going to all the background of that, but the company closed. The company closed. My income was gone overnight. Like even the 5,000 that I had, 2,000, whatever I had,
right,
that was gone because now there's no more commissions.
Right.
Right. So now I'm like, okay, but I have a brand, right? I know how to market online. I got a baby, but now he's 3, right? At that time, 17. Right. And now I'm like, okay, I got to do something.
Yeah. So
now we're talking about a major transition again, okay, financially. Similar to now what happened back in 2007 with the real estate.
Right.
So now I'm back to this point, but now I remember that, like, I don't want to have to file bankruptcy. I don't want to have to go through foreclosure again. I don't want to have to go through all that. Tracy, you better than that now. You look how much you've grown this 10 years later.
Right.
You know? Right. How are you back right here again? So I went into, production mode. Okay, let me create a coaching company, and I can teach people how to market online. I started charging people $3,500 to coach them on how to market online, which I was doing, right? And that was okay, but I was tired, DeWanda, doing that. Like, yeah. I didn't want to be on the phone coaching 6-hour sessions. Well, not at a time, but there were 6 different 1-hour sessions for each client, right?
Right.
So if I have 5 clients, damn, I'm on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was dreading that. Even though I was making the money, I was like, something's got to change with this, because this is not the lick either.
Right.
So around that time, I had a good friend of mine who was a traditional network marketing person. His name was Ed Hartley, right? Ed Hartley had been big in like Organo Gold and things like this.
Yeah, shout out.
Another
legend.
To, right? R.I.P. Right, my brother. So Ed reached out to me, and he was, and out the blue, it seemed like he was like, "Yo, Trace, like I'm in Atlanta," because he lived in Atlanta, but he was back and forth different countries and stuff, just traveling. Yeah. He's like, "I was thinking about you." He was like, "Let's meet up for lunch." Okay, fine. So we went to lunch, and he started sharing with me what he was doing with cryptocurrency. Okay. And he was showing me his portfolio. And this man was making so much money with this cryptocurrency stuff that I was like, what is this? And this was just 2 years ago. What in the world is this? I don't even know what you're talking about. How do you get this stuff? How is it related to anything? Is it real? Is it like, what are you doing, Ed?
Yeah.
And we met a couple times. And so then he had a company that he was developing where he was out in where was he at? Malaysia. He was somewhere overseas. Philippines. He was somewhere over there.
Yeah.
And he was above in this company, and so we agreed that, you know, we would probably lock arms, and I would bring some of the people that were part of my organization that we kind of stuck together. We would start building something with him.
Right.
Well, simultaneously, in between there, so I'm talking to Ed about this. Simultaneously, another one of my business partners who was on my team in Empower Network, he came to me and said, you know, have you looked at Forex? Right? And I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
And so then I started learning about that. And then that's how I bumped into David and Benitier. Okay.
Wow.
Because of that. So he goes, look, I want you to talk to David. And you know, David was doing well where he was. I knew of David from before in Organo Go. I had never met him. Right. But of course, leaders, know different leaders. So I had heard of him and this and that. So then he bridged that call. So me and David get on a conference call. We talked a little bit about, what he was doing at that time. And so then he flew me down to take a look at the company in Orlando at an event. Yeah. So I go down here and I look, and I'm like, I love this. Yeah. Right. So now I come back to Ed because I know Ed and David were good friends. Right. So now I come back to Ed like, oh, bro, look, I think I'm gonna have to roll over here because I just think it's gonna be a little bit better environment for my team. Like you're all the way overseas, right? If we need help and support, it's nothing we can really do. Right. But with this, we have a little bit better support system and whatever. So he was cool with it, totally good. Wish me luck, no big deal. So got going with what we're doing now with David. And that was 2017. And that's when I first started learning about this whole, foreign exchange, cryptocurrency, that whole area of investment, which was so appealing to me for a couple of reasons. Yeah. The first reason was it filled a need for me, which was this. When I was doing real estate, remember I told you before, the reason I got into network marketing was because the real estate was giving me large sums of money, gunshot style, right? I didn't have any residual. So network marketing filled that need for the residual. Mm-hmm. So, and I knew growing up, I knew how to save money, right? So this is why I was able to sustain, is because even though the money was going down from the network marketing after a while, I was still saving. What I was not doing, Dewan, was investing it the right way. I was doing some investments, but I wasn't really gung-ho about investing because I really didn't even know how, to be honest, right? And if most people are honest, we don't know how. So you're fine with taking your 401k from your company because you don't know what to do. So you don't know if that's good or bad. You just know it's better than nothing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So for me, now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, first thing is, now I know what I need to do with my money, okay? As money builds back up, this time, I got you. This time, financial abundance, right? I got you. Because first time I knew how to make the money, but I didn't know how to do residual. Second time I made the money, I didn't know how to invest. This time, I know all of it now. You know what I'm saying? I know all of it now. So I'm learning the skill of investing, which was a missing component, my other 2 cents of, having high success in business. And secondly, now I was able to have something that no matter what happened to the company, I don't care if the company goes down in flames. I don't want it to. But if it did, I know something and I know how to do something that is independent of the company. Okay? Which doesn't exist in traditional network marketing companies. If you got the juice, you got the travel plan, you got the health, the weight loss, whatever, that what makes that company so great is that product line. Right. If that company shuts down, you can't keep selling that product line. Right. You got to find something else to sell. And that's what I did not want. My thing is, this is my last rodeo, right? I'm going to make it here or I ain't going to make it at all. And if anything happens to the company along my journey to make it big here, then I have the skill where I will never be broke again another day in my life. Wow. So I have security in knowing I know the skill, independent of a company, independent of product and services, independent of network marketing. I love network marketing. I'm a network marketer. Okay. Yeah. But in case the company shut down, who am I network marketing to? Yeah. Okay. So I got to be a realist because it happened to me. People don't think about it because it ain't happened to them. It's happened to me. I've had a company shut down on me. I've lost my team.
On the highest level, yeah.
So I don't think the way a new person, ground floor opportunity. I'm not excited about ground floor opportunity. Yeah. Because I need you to be 3 to 5 years so that the commissions is worked out, so the legal is worked out. So I make sure once I get going, y'all not gonna shut down on me down the road. You know? Now, my previous company didn't shut down for any of that, any of those legal or illegal reasons. It just shut down due to mismanagement of internal corporate stuff, right?
Wow.
So it was still legit. It just, you know, it didn't work out. So I just had to safeguard myself, DeJuan, this time around with, okay, I need to be independent of a company. After all, I am an independent business owner. If you're in network marketing, that's what you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but most of us really still aren't that independent. That company leave, you're dependent. Okay? So I didn't want that. And then also I wanted to have something and know something that allowed me to make money no matter what. I recruited somebody or if I didn't recruit somebody. Right? So, so that was that. And so that was 2017. And that's the company I'm still with right now. And that's my deal. So now my whole thing is basically collapsing all of these experiences together. And now when I speak to people, I can speak on, look, I understand working a job. I understand going to school, getting higher degrees. I get it. I understand being laid off and, you know, having to come up with something to do. I understand starting a business from scratch, which was my real estate business. I understand the environment changing and you kind of being pushed out, having to do something else. I understand starting network marketing from scratch with no team to bring over. You got to just get it going from the ground level. I understand trying to learn the internet, not knowing what the heck a lead was, not knowing what a lead capture page is, not knowing what an autoresponder. I get it. I was at square one with all that stuff at some point in time too. I get it. Making millions of dollars in everything I've ever done to then lose the money, you know, every time that I've done it. Right? And to end up where I'm like, okay, look, you got to figure something. What are you doing wrong? You know how to make money. That's not the issue. The issue is, young lady, you haven't learned how to invest, grow, and keep your money. Wow. So that's the journey I'm on now, which is, look, I understand. You can make all the money in the world. You could be making all on your job. You could be making millions on your job. But if you don't know what to do with that money in case that job goes away, in case they downsize you, in case that company gets purchased or acquired by another company, like T-Mobile acquiring Sprint, something like this, they don't have to keep all them employees. They don't have to keep you in your position. If they have multiple positions and multiple departments, they could let you go. So you just never know what could happen.
Protect your bottom line, protecting your bottom line,
You got to protect your own economy. And so that's my mission now. That's the journey I'm on now, is really I'm in a rebuild. I'm okay now, but I'm still really in a rebuild. I haven't made $1 million in this just yet, but just wait, I will, because everything I touch, I make $1 million in.
We already know that.
So I'm not worried about it, right? But learning the skill with this took a little bit more time. It's not selling travel. You understand? It's not selling an internet marketing package. This is selling you on your own ability to change the legacy of to change the legacy or to change the future of your legacy. That's not going to be as easy, right? So now I can teach my son these skills. He sits up here and I show him things. He understands the basics of some fundamentals of trading and things of that sort, because I don't want him to have to grow up with his mother being in his ear, you got to get you a job when you're 16. That's not what he's going to do. He's going to already be a trader by the time he's 12, 10, 11, right? And be making money. And if he wants to go to college, he can go. But I'm not going to be the mother, personally, that's pushing him off to go to college when, if by the time he gets that age, he already making millions of dollars with his trading. That don't make no sense. And he can teach other people how to do that, or create programs or courses and have his own entity and his own enterprise. That's what I'm teaching. And I teach it to him, and that's what I teach other people in the marketplace who have ears to hear. Because not everybody want to hear that. But that's those that have ears to hear, that's why Tracey Walker exists, is for that person. So all of my experiences have been put together to bring me right where I am right now, to be right here with you tonight doing this, right? To make sure that everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice knows that it doesn't matter what the challenge, what the detour, what the crisis, what the whatever it is, you just got to keep looking for the next solution. You can't get caught and dwell in the problem, right? I mean, I got a quote right here about Albert Einstein that says, the significant problems we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them.
Wow.
So if you were already feeling a type of way and you created a circumstance like a debt, a poverty, a broken relationship, you created that, then you can't use that mindset to create something different. You got to have a new mindset first. Then you can create something different. So that process is the hardest thing, I think, for people. And that's why I'm here.
I'll say
be rich.
One of the things that that I've realized just having this show, you know, we've interviewed multiple individuals like yourself who have created enormous businesses and also have helped a lot of people, have earned 6, 7, and even 8 figures in their business. And one thing that's consistent that I'm seeing is the experience and the journey. And a lot of people, I don't know who's the to fault or who's to blame, but a lot of people getting involved want the quick results and always looking at the end result of successful people, and they start comparing themselves. I think you mentioned that before. They start one of those results and not really understanding the process. Like some of the stories that we've heard on the Builders Club TV, unbelievable, mind-blowing events that, you know, these leaders have been through to get where they are. And I think it's important that you know, folks start to realize, man, you got to go through the fire to get to the other side. And it is, you know, just hearing these stories.
You have no idea, man. No idea. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there were nights even here where I live right now where I was like, how am I going to pay my rent?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? When that company shut down, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay for my son to go to school or pay for the nanny? Like, tons of nights of crying, trying to figure it out. But people around me who think like me were reminding me of who I was. Like, wait a minute now, time out, chick.
The importance of a mentor.
Wait a minute. Like, don't get caught up in that. Like, remember, like, it's everything, right? And so helping to bring me out, like, wait a minute, you're right. I'm moving in the wrong way, right? I'm not moving the way I need to move to get what I need to get. And so having to adjust even more, right? Diving into my personal development stuff. I mean, I got books sitting right here. I got books on my next to my bed in there. I mean, it's a never ending process. You're never there. There's nowhere to ever be. You're always moving and working to achieve something, but that once you achieve that, the way God has us wired is the minute you achieve $10,000 a month, instantly you want more.
That's amazing.
And it's not greed. That's called desire. It's called growth. It's called, okay, I've achieved the goal. Let me go higher.
Yeah. Entrepreneurs are never done with their accomplishments. And it's always about evolution in this entrepreneurship game. So Tracey, you know what? We are blessed to have you on this show, and we appreciate your transparency. We appreciate the leaders coming on to the show and being as transparent as they have been. And that's the whole thing about the show. We're hoping to bring a platform to the industry that's going to shed light on the real. There's so much, you know, camouflage and smoke screens up in the industry, unfortunately, and we want to be that that arena or that platform that provides the real, so folks can really understand again what it takes to be successful at anything they're looking to do in life. So we are so excited to have you on, and we definitely, man, we got to have you back, because I mean, you be coming with the bars, you know what I'm saying? You be dropping that science on us. Can you give out your social media again and website for the family?
Absolutely, guys. You can catch me on IG at Miss Tracey Walker. That's MISSTRACEY Walker. I'm on Facebook at Coach Tracey Walker. And I'm kind of, I hang out on both those places. And, my main site is tradewithtracy.com, www.tradewithtracy.com. You can learn more about some things I got going on there. But I invite anyone that wants to reach out. We can connect and link up on social media and, expand the knowledge.
Awesome. And as always, family, we will link Tracey's information down below in the video description. Tracey, I got an idea. We definitely want to have you back on. I think you being a mother and still a powerhouse in your business. I know as far as this interview and folks who didn't know you getting to know you, folks who already knew who you were, learning more about you, they might want to see some tips when it comes to being a mother and building a business. You know, how do you do that so well? I mean, you obviously have that mastered. You know what I mean? How do you be an effective mother and an effective entrepreneur? What do you think about having you come back on the show and, you know, maybe do a little quick session, you know, with some tips and some nuggets for those mothers out there who, like you said, you were going through some things, feeling guilty. You were trying to balance and juggle everything, how to be effective as a mother, how to be effective in your business. What do you think about coming on to the show and talking to the mothers out there about how to become a mompreneur?
You know, I would love the opportunity to do that. I will tell you though, I don't have it all together, okay? I am still figuring it out, but I would be more than happy to share, you know, what has helped me up to this point, and hopefully, you know, impart some knowledge on some other moms. I love to, Duane. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be powerful. I know the Builders Club TV Nation would appreciate that. The mothers out there right now pulling their hair out, saying, sit down somewhere. I'm trying to figure this out. I got a Facebook Live to do. You know, they're trying to figure out how to, and there he is right there, the young king. Man, that dude right there is going to be a beast in the industry. He's already on the Nintendo Switch. Probably got a Twitch account already streaming to 1 million viewers. You know, that video game industry is powerful. I was reading an article on the gentleman, I forget his name, but he makes $500,000 a month playing video games. So these kids are coming up in a new era, and I'm thinking maybe we should be teaching our children how to build an email list like out the womb, right? So when they graduate, no matter what they want to do, they have an audience to speak to. I don't know, might just be my crazy self.
Exactly right. I'm with you.
Well, Builders Club TV Nation, Tracey Walker, it's been a pleasure. We got to have you back on the show. Builders Club TV Nation, Tracey Walker. Peace.